And welcome to the channel. Right, we're a wee bit late. It's 5 to 9. I don't know what date it is. Is it the no, I think it's the 12th or the 13th. Right, so the car's going for the MOT, and I really should. He doesn't actually open till 9. But I'm normally there by 8:30. I just didn't get up, didn't I? Sometimes that happens. You go into winter and you get up a bit later. I wouldn't have my grandchildren in one of these things, but that's not me that makes these decisions. Miliband was on the news this morning, boasting about SMRs, which is what I've been going on about for years. You know, do you have to stand so close to the side of the road? NIMBY probably. SMR, small modular reactors. So he's filled the fucking land full of concrete and wind farms. He's trying to tell us that the price of electric is going to come down. What a liar! Fucking, it hasn't come down, and it's not going to come down. You're a liar. Anyway, the guy's fucking mental. It's just he's doing that enthusiasm thing where he was all enthusiastic. So we're doing 35, 37. You've got to watch when you go over 30 on any of these roads, because they can nail you, because obviously there's legislation in place for restricted roads. Bill 1967, 1984 it was amended. There's no such thing as 20 miles per hour speed limits in Scotland. In England they're doing it under civil matter. If I was in England, I'm not I'm completely sure about this. I know about Scotland, I'm not so sure about England. I'm totally sure about Wales. Yeah, you get done in Wales. I'm not sure about England. It might be a civil matter. It could be that I could go down there, break their speed limit and stick 2 fingers up at them. I'm not sure. Right, I need to look into that a bit more. So I haven't been in London for a while anyway. A few years. Well, I have, but I haven't been driving there. That's what I meant. Right, so we are. Right, so what I want to talk about. That was quite a cool truck there, but kind of sat and waited for it. Right, so had a bit, not exactly an argument, but I've got to clear something up here. Let's talk, and it's an interesting topic. Talking about the Online Safety Act. I don't really know much about the Online Safety Act, but I know that my belief is that the idea would be to clean up the internet, right? So I got into a bit of a to and fro with park shite reviews. Now, he sort of misunderstood what I was saying, and he hasn't answered. So there's quite there's 4 or 5 different comments exchange, and I think he's fundamental. I don't think he understands. Well, he doesn't understand my situation for a start, right? Well, we're all like that, but I think we need to have a bit of open mind about other people's situation, right? So the abuse that I get, he maybe doesn't get any, right? Or if he does, he doesn't give a fuck, because he's just wired up. His mind is wired up differently from mine, right? I'm using him as an example because he annoyed me a bit yesterday, because he actually called me a grass, right? That's another thing, right? So that is part of his background coming from Glasgow, right? So the last person I remember using that word was Jimmy Savile. You're a grass. She's not a grass. That he was talking about secretaries. So what we're talking about there is the criminal code. So he shouldn't be using that word, because he's got a job, a decent car, a family, and all the rest of it. Right? He shouldn't be using that word, and that's part of his Glaswegian past, because it's a rough place, Glasgow, and it's going down the tubes very fast. All you got to do is go and fucking look at Glasgow. It's fucking shit, right? And it's in Scotland, and it's got a numpty government, a Scottish government. Anyway, that's sort of expanding a bit there, because I do sort of like the guy, right? So I'll make that clear. I like watching his videos. It'd be a shame if we fall out. But what I'm saying about the Online Safety Act is that so what I said was, if I get any abusive comments, which I do, I get shed loads of them on Facebook. I get them constantly on Facebook. YouTube, I get them as well, but not quite so much. I report them, and he somehow thought I meant I phoned the police, because he said, you're grass. I don't phone the police, right? But the point I'd like to make is, if I did or wanted to phone the police, that's up to me, right? So that's really for other people. Do you want to phone the police? You're perfectly entitled to phone the police, especially in Scotland, especially in certain topics. If you feel the need to phone the police, fucking phone the police, right? You're not a grass, it's up to you. If you want to do that, do it. I don't do that, because, so he was talking about Hurty Words, so that's like, he's kind of like discrediting my experience. So it's, well, what the fuck does that mean? You know, I think the fundamental problem here with him and a lot of people like him is they think that we have freedom of speech in this country. Well, he lives in Germany. We don't, right? We don't have freedom of speech. That is bollocks. You do not fucking have it, right? There's no freedom of speech. It's bullshit. So what I'm talking about is people, and they come onto YouTube, well, on Facebook they are so vitriolic. They actually say really, like, okay, I can handle it, I'm an adult. They say really horrible things about, to me, like, obviously because they don't agree with me. This could be in a whole range of topics: electric cars, the SNP, gender. That's the worst one. Gender. Talk about gender. So you get gender critical feminists and the incompetent men who support these idiotic lesbians, for example. And there's sort of like some of your sort of average men are being dragged into that stupid argument because they're fighting trans ideology. So I get really horrible comments, so I report them. When I mean report them, what I mean is I report them to Facebook and I report them to YouTube, and I don't really go on Twitter, but you get the picture, right? You report them, that's what you do, and that's what everybody should do. And the reason you should report them, and this is what the important thing is, to clean up the place. So what I'm talking about is the people that are saying these things to me and other people and all the other people. They're maybe not saying it to him because he probably doesn't get the same amount of volume of abuse that I get. He probably doesn't get any, right? So that's, on his part, that's a lack of emotional intelligence to understand that other people have different experiences. I think that's what it is. And I think he just doesn't see it or doesn't care. That's often what most people, the majority of people, only think about themselves, right? That's kind of normal, right? So what I think we should be doing, and I don't know, he's claiming the Online Safety Act is going to be used for all sorts of different purposes. He's probably right. I would agree with him for that, right? That it's going to be distorted and used against us. But what I'm talking about is somebody that goes on and says overtly abusive on YouTube. That is not freedom of speech. That is just abuse. That's all that is. That should be stopped, and that's what I'm saying, and that's what the platforms do, and that's what he said, and I agreed with him. But then he started calling me a grass, and he did that because he didn't fucking read what I wrote properly. Or it did. I said polite, and I thought, did he think I said police when I said polite? Polite. I think that's what maybe happened. I don't want to fall out with him, but he did piss me off, right? I'm not a fucking, well, maybe I am a grass. I am a grass. Who cares? Like, so that's what I said. I didn't sign up to the criminal code, right? I'm not a criminal. I'm not in the criminal world. Therefore, I cannot be called a grass. Well, you can call me a grass if you like. I don't consider myself to be a grass because I'm not in that world. And I think if you start using that language, that means you are still a criminal yourself, right? So I hope he does. If he listens to this, great. I hope we can carry on and be friends. If not, we might just fucking part. But that's fine. It doesn't really matter. Because, you know, obviously I'm about 20 odd. I've got a son. I've got grandchildren. I've got a son older than him, right? So I'm a bit more mature. You could put it that way, yeah. And because of my background and my situation, it doesn't mean to say I don't understand a lot of these things that's happening in our world. And I think it's quite a cool truck. I think it's important that we have a safe environment on the internet that we can stop people from behaving like complete and utter fucking numpties, calling people cunts and all sorts, and I know that I swear quite a bit myself, you know, but being out, we're totally and completely abusive to people is not freedom of speech. That's not what it is. That's not, so I mean, I've videoed this fucking loads of times. It's not like I don't have the evidence what I'm talking about. If you want to look at the channel updates, go and look at them. You'll see the sort of morons that come on, and I've blocked fucking loads of them. If it doesn't bother you or Parkside Reviews, all these people, then have a little bit of fucking understanding of other people and how it does affect you. It actually does affect your mental health. Hurty Words. There is scientific evidence, data that shows that it does hurt you. They're not just words. It affects you. So, and it affects different people in different ways, which is my whole point. So I think I've cleared that up. Grasp people up, report them. And if people want to be decent and come and have a decent conversation, it's easy. Just do it. But if we're going to be saying horrible things, being rude and obnoxious and hateful, then they deserve to be reported, obviously. Why would you sit there? Why would you have if it was a bar and everybody's sitting there having a great time, why would you have some horrible person coming in saying horrible things about to people about their toxic problems that they've got in their head? They get to fuck. Throw them out of the bar. That's the whole fucking analogy, right? So I think I've kind of covered it. As soon as I fucking see that grass thing, it's like, what the fuck? Fuck off, you know? Get a grip of yourself. You seem to have a lot going for you, you know? And then, why be, you know, get rid of that fucking scummy past. It must be, I think that's a scummy past where you were coming out in you, coming away with that shit. You know, you need to launch yourself into the middle classes and be a better person for your family. Not for you, but for your family, for your children. Is how I see it. So, and that's coming from a person that's made all the mistakes. That's not coming from a perfect person, right? That's coming from a failed me, right? Who can see things more clearly. And I think that's the Online Safety Act. And a review of Parkside Reviews. That van was there the other day. Are they van lifers? Or maybe they just live here and they've just parked it there. Nah, it doesn't look like there's empty in it. All the windows are open. Right, so we're going for the MOT. Right, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming along, and I wish him all the best. I hope I wasn't a bit too hard there, but I hope I explained it as well. You'll probably understand. He does seem an intelligent guy. Yeah. It's just frustrating when people, I think it's a misunderstanding. You can disagree with people, but it's not grass, and that's not what it is. You really need to understand what freedom of speech means, you know, and what it really means. Do you think I should take it in there or just leave it out here? And I'll leave it out here. Right, so thanks for watching. Bye!